Hey guys, and welcome to my studio in 2024. I know things might be looking a little bit different to how they usually do right now, and that's because my beautiful wife, Amanda, holding the camera, has taken it upon herself to absolutely deck this place out and make it look incredible. So I thought this is probably the best time to do a complete studio tour walkthrough, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. I work in here, I edit in here, I film in here, and I absolutely love the space that myself and of course Amanda has created. So without further ado, let's kick things off with one of the best things I've built in the last 6 to 12 months. We're just over here. This is my camera filming cart. Now, I took inspiration, heavy inspiration from another YouTuber called Olio. I saw he had something very similar to this setup, and this solves a lot of my issues. So what do we have going on here? This is just a normal metal cart with some weights down below to make sure things are quite stable. And we have a 27-inch monitor on top. We have my Rode boom arm here to be able to put this pretty much wherever I want it to. And then I also have a tripod mounted to the side of the cart using some little clamp arms. And this allows me to film talking head videos, educational videos, all the videos you see on my YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, pretty much anywhere in here. If I need to move the tripod, if I need to move the mic, and of course being able to use this monitor to be able to monitor and see myself while I'm filming, I can, and it just rolls around as I wish. So this is super handy. And one of the greatest things is I can also charge my camera while I'm filming from this cart. So yeah, this keeps everything organized. It keeps things just a little bit more efficient and productive. I absolutely love this thing. And yeah, I'm super blessed that I picked that up from Olio's channel. So shout out to him. And let's move this into the corner where it usually lives, which is over here. We've also got a little power cable down here that runs behind my desk, and this allows me to plug the monitor and my light in, which is important, and then everything is up and running. Now, on the theme of filming videos, this desk in the corner, weird place for a desk, I know, but this moves around. This is a really lightweight, quite cheap desk actually, and this is the desk I film all my videos on. So when I'm filming, I grab this desk, I put it in the middle of the room, I put it maybe facing my setup, I put it maybe facing the corner or this corner, and one of the things I love about this room is I can film in pretty much any direction, and then I start recording. I wish it maybe had some wheels on it, but then again, I'd probably have to lock those down, so maybe for now I'll just leave it as is. And then I also have my light in the corner with a big softbox in it, I should say on it. This is a Godox SL60W, just with a generic Godox softbox on it. And this is my key light for all my videos. I leave it out here because instead of packing it up and putting it away and then bringing it back out again, building the softbox, if I can leave it out, I'm much more inclined to just film videos and get them done. It's just breaking down that barrier to entry between not filming and filming. So this makes the process so much easier. And then behind this light just here, we have one of my favorite photos of a temple in Bangkok. And we're actually heading to Bangkok in the next few days, which I'm very excited for. But I've got a load of prints around the office, and they're all from some of my most favorite travels, my favorite photos, favorite locations. So I would definitely walk you through those. But that's pretty much the filming stuff taken care of. We've got the monitor, the mic arm, the tripod, the light, the desk, and that's everything I need to get filming. So with that out of the way, now we get to move in to some of the more fun stuff. We're gonna come to this corner first. This is a little bit more of the lounging or relaxing area. We've got a nice big print up here. This is of Horizontal Falls in Western Australia. I actually shot this for Microsoft, which is kind of crazy if you ask me. This is a part of their wallpaper competition selection. So this is a really cool photo, very proud of it, which is why I want it to be nice front and center. And then we've just got some nice decorative shelving over here. We've got a handful of little plants and whatnot going on. And then we also have one of the coolest cameras I've ever picked up. This is, I don't even know, it's a really old vintage film video camera that kind of looks like a little briefcase, if you will. And it's still 100% working. It has the smallest lens I've ever seen in the world. Like, Come on, you're joking. Either way, this is a really cool camera. I've also got a handful of vintage cameras around as well. I don't shoot film because I just don't find it convenient enough, at least for me. I absolutely love and appreciate it, but I definitely love how film cameras look. So I've got a handful scattered around and I really like it. But either way, this is my little lounge setup. This was a really cheap lounge I just bought from some random like big box supermarket here in Indonesia. One of the most comfortable things I've ever sat on. I love it. I've slept on it twice and yes, absolutely a big fan of this lounge. But that more or less wraps up this corner. Once again, I can film into this corner, which is a game changer. I used to only have one filming direction, which is still more than enough, but now that I can film into every single corner of this room, that's the dream. So moving on to this shelving unit here, this is pretty much seen in every single one of my videos and has been in every single one of my videos for the last, I'd say 2.5 years. Got a handful of things on here, little globe up the top, nice looking fake plant, handful of books scattered around. I've also got another vintage video camera right here. This guy looks super cool, especially when you're holding it in videos and photos. But one of my most prized possessions, I should say, is this Blue Yeti microphone. I've had this microphone, going back maybe 9 years. It no longer works. It's definitely seen its fair share, but I bought this microphone when I first started out, about a year into my first YouTube channel. It was one of the biggest upgrades I had ever made. It's one of the biggest investments I'd ever made as well into my YouTube channel, and I loved this thing. I bought it when I was in Australia. I bought it over here a couple of years ago, and now it just sits in the back of all my videos as a little trophy, a little memento, if you will. So yes, I absolutely love having this cruising around in the background, even though I don't use it anymore. So thank you for getting a load of stuff filmed for me. Much appreciated, Blue Yeti. And then we're gonna be moving on to the desk in just a moment, but there's a door right here. Now, I think every single studio, office setup, whatever the case, needs a door like this, because behind here, it looks like a bomb's gone off. This is the storage room. This is where I keep all my light stands, tripod, camera gear, bags, suitcases, you name it. It all lives in there, but we're not gonna go in there because we're just gonna leave it for now. Moving on to the desk, forget about the door. This is where it all happens. This is also where arguably the biggest changes of the complete office studio has been happening. This wall used to be white. There used to be no shelves on here. These prints are brand new. The LED lights are looking fantastic. And I've also got a brand new display. This is the brand new BenQ PD3225U 31.5 inch display, and I am loving it. I've got to say, one of my biggest pet peeves with displays and monitors in general is when the colors don't match. Okay, I have the MacBook Pro 16-inch M1 Pro here, and this display is incredible. However, it's nowhere near big enough, even though it's the 16-inch version. This monitor here solves that problem. I used to be editing on a different monitor, so I would do all my cutting or my clip selection on that monitor, and then when it would come to the color grading or photo editing part of my workflow, I would have to pretty much turn the monitor off, get my laptop out, and then do everything on the laptop screen, so when it came to exporting, the colors looked correct and good. Finally, thankfully, that is over. This BenQ monitor absolutely takes care of that, which is ideal. One of my favorite features about this display is the Thunderbolt 3 compatibility. Having one Thunderbolt 3 USB-C port on the back of this monitor makes my life a breeze. Not only does it take care of charging my laptop, which is ideal, but it also takes care of the display, and I can also use the inbuilt ports on the monitor to gain extra USB-C ports or USB-A ports. This way, I don't have to use a dongle, I don't have to use a dock. Everything just stays nice, clean, and tidy through one USB-C Thunderbolt 3 cable. I absolutely love it. It cleans up my desk space like crazy, and it keeps things looking clean. Now, something else that is tough to find on a display that isn't from Apple, for example, is an easy way to control the display. This monitor here has something called Display Pilot 2. And that means I can come over to my display, I can open up Display Pilot 2, and I have complete functionality and control over my monitor. So if I open it up here, I can see that I can change the volume of the speakers, which I'll get to in just a moment. I can also change the brightness, making it super dark, brightening it up. This is great. No more fiddling behind the monitor trying to find the right buttons. This just makes it easy to control. I can also control the color mode, which I know I've already touched on, but being able to make sure that my colors are exactly the same as my MacBook and my iPhone and they look good everywhere is important. So depending on what project you are working on, you can come in here and you can choose the exact color display that you want to have. So Display Pilot 2 is an absolute game changer. I love it. It makes working on this monitor so much easier and just far more efficient. And then the last thing I want to touch on about this display is the speakers. These speakers aren't game changing. However, the fact that they're built into the monitor is perfection. Okay, I don't have external speakers on my desk. I don't have room for them. I don't want to have room for them, and I don't want all the extra cables and fluff that comes with external speakers. Now, I do use headphones quite a lot. I've got the Sony WH-1000 XM4s, or whatever crazy name Sony's given these. So I do use headphones quite a lot. However, when I don't want to use headphones, I've got two options. I can either have the music playing out of my closed MacBook, which sounds incredibly bad, or because I have the built-in speakers from the display, I choose to use these. And once again, they're not gonna blow you away sound quality-wise, but they are definitely more than enough to watch a few YouTube videos, Netflix, or whatever the case. I absolutely love the fact that this display has speakers built in. So if you are looking for a display as a creative, or not even a creative, but you just care about what the colors look like, you like a big 4K 31.5-inch display, I would highly recommend to check out this BenQ display linked down below. So anyway, that is the display out of the way. Let's move on to everything else I have on this desk. Let's first off start with the chair. This is just a basic IKEA office chair, and this desk is also just a basic IKEA desk as well. I've got a nice little black desk pad on here. This was like $9 from the Indonesian Amazon, which is called Tokopedia. So this is nothing crazy. It's fake leather, which is more than fine. And then I have my keyboard and mouse here, plus something else from the BenQ PD3225U display. This is called the Hotkey Puck. Now, I don't use this because I like to keep things as clean and minimal as possible, but if you are looking for another way to quickly change things on your display, for example, like the volume of the speakers, you've got some custom buttons here, the brightness, whatever the case, I personally use Display Pilot 2, but you can plug this in to the back and control your monitor that way. But like I said, I like to keep things as minimal as possible, so this doesn't make it into my setup. And then I've also got my iPhone 14 Pro right here. I like to try and keep my setup as phone-free as possible, so usually this is actually living over on my filming desk, but for the purpose of today's video, it's living right here. I've also then got some storage under my monitor here. This is a custom-built monitor stand I had made. We've got some drawers over here, which is just full of cables and other SSDs. And then I've got my air conditioning remote. I've got my notebook with a pen. I have an Android phone here, actually. I've also then got my iPad Pro, which I usually have my iPad keyboard folio case, but Amanda insists that that is now hers. So I have this older purple iPad case that used to be Amanda's, but I've now inherited that, so thanks. Either way, that lives in there. I don't use my iPad as much as I would like to admit. When I bought it, I thought of it as this productivity machine. It's kind of like a YouTube Netflix machine, to be honest with you.
That's why I have the case.
Okay, and that's why Amanda has the case apparently. And then I've got a handful of SSDs with projects that I'm currently working on, so that's pretty important. I already mentioned my headphones over here. I've also got a nice little IKEA lamp, just kind of adding some ambient light. And then I've also got my MacBook Pro 16-inch M1 Pro version right there in a nice little vertical, call this vertical, kind of Mac stand. So that's more or less the desk wrapped up. I've also got a little foot stand underneath. If you don't have a foot stand, check it out. Check them out. Give them a chance, honestly, because when I used to sit at my desk and my feet touch the ground, I'm not some, real short person, but just being able to like extend your legs out, oh my goodness. Game changer. Anyway, that wraps up the desk. We've got some nice plants either side of the desk, and then we move on to this right here. This shelving unit No, not even unit. Just this shelving setup is incredible. We've got some LED lights installed underneath. These are Philips Hue LED lights, I believe. And then we've got a handful of film cameras up here. So we have this guy right here. This is a Kodak. I'm not even gonna try. I really have no idea. My dad bought me this camera actually because he had one when he was growing up. So he thought I probably need one of those. So that lives up on display. I've got a nice Canon film camera up here. I have one of the newest additions to the office, which is my 100K subscriber plaque. We recently hit 100K on YouTube. Thank you so much for all the love and support. I appreciate this greatly. That's gonna pop back up there. It's gonna sit in the middle nicely in all its glory. And then I've got two large prints either side. First one on the right is of the Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi. Incredible place. Absolutely incredible place. And then this one on the left is of Mount Cook on the South Island of New Zealand. I'm also a Kiwi, so this one is rings a little bell of home. So that one lives up there as well. And then I've got a balloon from Cappadocia and then some mountains from the Dolomites up there at the top, mixed in with a handful of plants, some books, a little clock, and that pretty much wraps up the entire studio. It's not a huge space whatsoever, but it's incredibly efficient and productive. It's somewhat minimalist. I would say the little touches from Amanda, they've definitely made it feel more like a home and more complete, but maybe a little bit less minimalist, you know, all the little plants and stuff on the side, but I love the way they look. So I'm not gonna argue. I think they look great and I hope you do too. But anyway, that wraps up the studio tour. If you did enjoy, let me know down below. If you're new around here, a subscribe would mean the absolute world. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.